Today, I have dug up 50 of the absolute strangest, most irrational, and downright bizarre phobias that plague some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Let's start with some fears that just make absolutely no sense. Take Oprah Winfrey. She is one of the most powerful women in the world, but she has chicklephobia, a severe fear of chewing gum. She reportedly bans it entirely from her office building. Then there is Billy Bob Thornton. He cannot stand being in a room with antique furniture, specifically anything made before 1950. If you invite him over, make sure your couch is from IKEA. Megan Fox has a very specific tactile fear called papyrophobia. She is terrified of dry paper. She has to keep a cup of water nearby to lick her fingers before she can turn a page in a script. Rihanna also has a very specific struggle. She suffers from ichthyophobia. She is petrified of fish, once describing a panic attack she had in Barbados when she saw a tiny fish swimming around her feet. Perhaps the strangest food fear belongs to Martin Freeman, who is deeply unsettled by avocados. Apparently, the sight of the stone inside just freaks him out. Cara Sedgwick rounds out this group with a fear of talking food. She cannot stand commercials where things like raisins or vegetables have faces and speak. Supermodel Tyra Banks is terrified of dolphins. She has nightmares that they are bumping into her in the water. Nicole Kidman will jump out of a plane for a role, but she suffers from lepidopterophobia, a crippling fear of butterflies. She cannot even walk through a butterfly garden. Orlando Bloom might play brave heroes, but in real life, he suffers from swinophobia, a fear of pigs. He reportedly once ran off a set because a pig got loose. Adele has a very personal vendetta against seagulls. After one stole her ice cream years ago, she developed phobia and cannot stand the sight of them. Niall Horan shares a similar bird fear, but his is specifically pigeons. He is convinced they are always targeting him. Justin Timberlake is not a fan of creatures with too many legs or too many teeth. He has both arachnophobia and a fear of sharks. Once, he even had to make someone else remove a tiny spider from his hotel room. Matt Damon and Britney Spears both share a classic fear of herpetophobia. Damon hates snakes, while Britney is terrified of large lizards like Komodo dragons. Eminem has a reported fear of owls, which is just oddly specific. Twilight star Robert Pattinson is afraid of horses after getting trampled once. Country singer Lyle Lovett is terrified of cows after a bull attacked him. And Taylor Swift is convinced that sea urchins are just waiting in the ocean to injure her. Matthew McConaughey refuses to use revolving doors. He will walk all the way around a building to find a regular side door. Christina Ricci has a phobia of indoor houseplants because she finds them dirty. Magic Mike star Channing Tatum is terrified of porcelain dolls, claiming their lifeless eyes totally freak him out. Emily Blunt has a similar issue with garden gnomes. She just finds them menacing. The Social Network star Jesse Eisenberg is strangely intimidated by preschoolers. Cameron Diaz is a notorious germaphobe who is afraid of doorknobs. She often opens doors with her elbows. Hilary Duff hates dirt, but specifically, she has a phobia of getting dirt under her fingernails. Kristen Bell wears gloves in the pool because she has a phobia of getting pruny fingers. Khloe Kardashian has omphalophobia, a genuine fear of belly buttons. She cannot touch them and hates having her own touched. Sean Diddy Combs has a fear of a long second toe and allegedly checks his dates' feet before things get serious. Tom Cruise is reportedly terrified of going bald. And in a twist of irony, Baywatch star Pamela Anderson has a fear of mirrors and hates seeing her own reflection. Kendall Jenner and actress Sarah Paulson both suffer from trypophobia, the fear of clusters of small holes like you see in a honeycomb or a pancake. Johnny Depp might play eccentric characters, but he suffers from coulrophobia, a deep fear of clowns. Rita Ora is terrified of toilets, specifically the fear that something is going to crawl out of the bowl while she is using it. Nicki Minaj has a very practical fear called escalophobia. She is terrified of escalators and will often require assistance or choose the stairs if she has to navigate them in high heels. Helen Mirren suffers from telephonophobia and avoids talking on the phone at all costs. Katy Perry sleeps with the lights on because she is afraid of the dark. Keanu Reeves also fears darkness, though he claims his fear is more philosophical than practical. Madonna is terrified of thunder and lightning and obsessively checks weather reports before performing outdoors. Jennifer Aniston has a well-known fear of flying. Jennifer Love Hewitt is terrified of elevators and will take the stairs whenever possible. Kill Bill star Uma Thurman suffers from severe claustrophobia, making the scene where she was buried alive a real-life nightmare to film. And oddly enough, Carmen Electra, famous for running on the beach in a swimsuit, is afraid of water and cannot swim. Finally, we have the abstract fears. Lady Gaga is so afraid of ghosts that she reportedly bought a professional ghost detection machine to take on tour. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who spent years slaying vampires in graveyards on TV, has a real-life phobia of cemeteries. David Beckham suffers from ataxophobia, a fear of disorder. He needs everything in his home to be in straight lines or pairs, right down to the soda cans in his fridge. Kelly Osbourne has haphiphobia, a fear of being touched by strangers. And the king of all phobias has to be Woody Allen, who suffers from panophobia. That is the generalized fear of basically everything, including sunshine, dogs, deer, bright colors, children, and small rooms. It just goes to show that everyone is afraid of something, no matter how famous or successful they are. Which one of these made you laugh the hardest, or do you have a weird phobia of your own to share? Let me know down in the comments.